Questions for Coach? First one in the front.
You talked about wanting them to channel their emotion and use it. What have you sensed in the last couple of days? You said you were worried they might be overexcited, but what have you sensed?
They're prepared, I think, both emotionally and mentally for this game. Physically, if they can stand the pace, they'll be fine.
Ramona?
Phil, how much have you been able to talk to Tex throughout the playoffs? I know John just told me that he's able to watch the games and stuff. And how hard has it been on you not having him here with you by your side?
Well, we didn't anticipate that Tex would travel with the team in this playoffs, even before he had the stroke last month. But not been able to carry conversation on with him over the phone. So I just get reports that he's enjoying the game, he's watching it, and he's very cogent what's going on.
I mean, over the years, you guys have been real close. Can you just talk about a little bit about your relationship with him? And I mean, he's been by your side pretty much the whole way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. When I became the head coach of the Bulls, I asked Johnny Bach to be the defensive coordinator and Tex Winter to be the offensive coordinator. So I had coaches in two different positions there. Both of them a great experience in the league. And, Tex obviously an innovator of the sideline triangle, which his coach at USC was a proponent of, and a very popular West Coast offense. But Tex refined it, and his dedication to it kind of made him the drill sergeant for the teams.
Was he always the guy who could kind of tell you when you were wrong? I mean, that's the impression I had, or when you needed to hear something?
Well, he always encouraged team play and system play. And so if it would become too individual, he would bring, the fact the ball wasn't moving or the team isn't playing together or there's a stagnation out there on the floor, he'd always bring that to bear. But more than anything else, he kept a running score on the sidelines, which is now done by Brian Shaw, whose cryptic handwriting is poor quality, but we can still get our way through it. But usually at timeouts, then we'd have something to check the last 4 or 5 possessions, and Tex would say, hey, we haven't run, pinch post offensive, or we haven't got the ball inside, 2-pass sequence. So, he had something to contribute. Now, we basically, Brian's taken that position over.
Back left. Go ahead.
Coach, when you look at the makeup of these two teams, the relative youth, can you just talk a little bit about the future of these organizations, and do you think it's possible they could meet again in the finals down the line?
Certainly Orlando's very capable of coming back to the finals with the youth that they have. Obviously, free agency in both clubs has a bearing upon what teams will do and how they'll have to maintain their roster and cap management. But both teams, I think, played extremely well during the year, and Orlando's youth is quite apparent with both their front court and their back court.
Standing on the side.
Phil, you've been in this situation 9 times prior to this, on the verge of winning a championship. Can you talk about the emotions you have right now? Is it nervous, butterflies?
Well, it's about not looking ahead. It's just almost impossible because you have so many things that are prepped for, this type of a game, and so you really have to bear down on, over planning or prepping or thinking about anything but the game, just going out and playing the game and maintaining your focus at the present moment. And that's what basketball is basically about. And you can't get too far ahead. So in that regard, it takes 4 games to win a championship, so we know that this is going to be a difficult game. And, my experience, just probably half the games that we've had a chance to do it, we haven't succeeded as a coaching staff over the years, so we know how difficult a chore it is.
And you're on the verge, we've reminded you so many times, of a historic achievement here as far as career coaching championships. What would this mean to you?
It's great to win a championship regardless. Number-wise, it is a number. It is a figure, unattained. But I think it's really about these young men and what they're doing. I'm trying to keep that focus there.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Phil, you've canceled a couple of shoot-arounds the last couple of days, last couple of games in town here. Is that a fatigue thing, or what's the reasoning behind that?
Well, we're a distance away, and the trip is a half hour best, and that makes shoot around 2.5 hour process, if not more, if we have to do press. So it's a little less movement, especially in this type of heat, to have to run around. And instead we're just going to the Lazy River water park, and we're going over to the amusement parks instead of just.
TJ?
Phil, hi. Do you worry if the series goes on, you might go broke from fines?
It's a possibility. I think that those inter-quarter discussions are quite unusual, seeing that they're an opportunity for a coach to give some candor to the game. So I'll have to watch my candor.
Was Doris the one who prompted that? Did she get under your skin?
No, I think there are some referees out there on the floor that probably prompted it more than Doris.
Okay. How much money have you lost over the years? You ever added it up? And how about Jerry Buss? Does he tell you, you know what, Phil, you just cost me another $25,000?
No.
He never mentions it?
No, sometimes he said that it's money well spent.
Mark in the front.
Phil, when you canceled shoot-around, did you have any kind of a meeting at all in lieu of that, or
Yes.
workout?
Yeah, we had a salon in a hotel that just reserved a space for us to watch videos, so we could acquaint ourselves again with what we have to do defensively, offensively too.
In the back, on the left.
Phil, there's been a mini controversy surrounding the Magic, and not to draw you into that, but do you believe that team chemistry can be so delicate that the return of a starter after a long layoff can throw it off for a day or two or a week or whatever?
We had Andrew Bynum come back to our team. It was a debatable issue. We were playing relatively well, and he was, whether to keep him out till the last 2 games of the season, let him play the last 5 games of where it was supposed to be. And we felt it was a rather major impact on our team, because it sets our team in quite a different order. Kobe moves up to a guard position. Lamar goes to the bench. And we have these 2 7-footers that play the power forward in the center position that are both capable post players that sometimes gets it messed up, our spacing messed up. So we're concerned about it as a coaching staff, and happy that we had an opportunity to do it before the playoffs began rather than during the playoff season.
So reintegrating can be a problem even if it has a good result down the road?
I don't think it's as much of an emotional problem, mental problem, as it is just a physical, reorienting yourself to the qualities and character of a player that's taking a place or one that's leaving a spot.
Phil, you mentioned your guys might be a little overexcited. Do you take measures when you've been in a situation so many times before? You let it just play itself out? Is there anything you try to do about it?
Sometimes we sit and be quiet for a few minutes before a game starts. Just kind of settle down. Just to, rather than, filling up our brain with information, just to kind of let it spin out a little bit and quiet down. So we do take some moments sometimes of silence.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.